It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera because I've been working on the brief history of post-apocalypse movies, and I did post in the community tab that I was going to do a what the fuck did I buy, and I have a what the fuck did I buy right here. The house sold, so I have a little bit of cash now. So I've bought a fair bit, and there was one that I forgot to grab, which I will grab. Which I will probably start off with. Right, so the first one in the what the fuck did I buy isn't one that I bought. It was, in fact, a Christmas present from my brother, and it is Arrow's release of The Last Video Store, which looks very fun. It's a sort of throwback to the VHS days of the video store, obviously, about a possessed VHS tape. I think it's Canadian, possibly Canadian, I'm not sure. But the reason he picked it up for me was because we saw the trailer for it, and I said, you know what, that looks like a lot of fun. He did say he was just like, if you're not really interested in it, I can exchange it, that's no problem. But I was like, no, we'll give it a blast. It could be fun. So yeah, it's a horror comedy directed by Cody Kennedy and Tim Rutherford. It's released by Arrow Video. This is the standard DVD or standard Blu-ray, not the 4K. So I don't think it had a 4K. This film contains sequences of flashing lights, which might affect customers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy. So yeah, so The Last Video Store was a Christmas present from my brother, which I really appreciate. So we'll probably check that out at some point. Then, obviously, because it's Christmas, I looked at the sales to see if there was anything out and about. And lo and behold, Signal 1, as usual, have a Christmas sale, and there's always some decent offers in there. And so I picked up a lot of films that I haven't seen that a lot of people have actually recommended. And the first one is a one that a lot of people recommended, and one that I have seen. Excuse me. And it's one that I have seen that I have on DVD, but I thought for a $5 I'll add it to the collection in high def. And it is On the Beach. Considering a lot of the people who viewed the brief history of post-apocalypse movies all said, I can't believe you left off On the Beach. I was like, well, I didn't leave off On the Beach. It's, in my eyes, it's not a post-apocalyptic movie. But I suppose a lot of people are sort of right. It does deal with the end of the world. But for a $5 in high def, On the Beach was a no-brainer to add to the collection. Which this is released by Signal 1. But it's not their Signal 1 like Stripe collection. So yeah, On the Beach, great movie. Gregory Peck, Ava Gardner, Fred Astaire, Anthony Perkins, and introducing Donna Anderson. Directed by, who did direct this one actually? Stanley Kramer. From the novel by Neville Shute. It's got a bigger cast than the ones that are named on the front. High definition transfer audio commentary written by On the Beach expert Dr. Philip Davey. Making of On the Beach, rare 8mm amateur footage. Donna Anderson interview in 2015. The actress discusses her time working with the cast and crew of On the Beach. Stanley Kramer's photo album, lobby cards, press books, stills gallery, original theatrical trailer. This film is 134 minutes long, and it's On the Beach. So yeah, On my beach, some Frenchman left a kayak on my beach. Bottom Live 3, Hooligans Island. Next up from the same sale is another film that I own, that I love, but it's a film that I don't own on HD, so I don't own it on Blu-ray. And for a $5 again, can't turn it down. It is Death Race 2000. Fucking love Death Race 2000. This film is cheesy, violent, over the top, cheap. It's Roger Corman, what do you expect? Just such a fun movie. David Carradine, Simone Griffith, and Sylvester Stallone. Fun movie. Yeah, love Death Race 2000. There was the follow-up to this was Death Sport, which is a terrible movie, which I did own, and I don't own it anymore. But yeah, Death Race 2000, great movie. Glad to have it in the collection on Blu-ray. But yeah, so like this is the only like Signal 1 Stripe release that I picked up, because there wasn't a lot there that I really fancied or that I didn't already own. But Death Race 2000 I had to get. Good movie. David Carradine plays Frankenstein. So let's read the back. So, in the year 2000, hit and run has become a national sport. It's a no-holds-barred cross-country race in which the aim is to kill off not only your opponents but as many pedestrians as possible. Essentially, Grand Theft Auto. Favourite driver, Frankenstein, takes on Machine Gun Joe Vidabo. Or Joe Vidabo. So, favourite, let me start that again. Favourite driver, Frankenstein, played by David Carradine, takes on Machine Gun Joe Vertebo, played by Sylvester Stallone, in this classic adrenaline thriller. However, this year's events are about to be complicated by the efforts of a small but dedicated army of revolutionaries. The overthrow of Mr. President hinges on the sabotage of the race and the elimination of Frankenstein, but Frankenstein himself is not what he seems. Yeah, fun movie. Really, really glad to have that now. Then, again, this is another update from Blu-ray, from DVD to Blu-ray. I did own this on the old Kino Lorber Blu-ray that was Region A that I can't play anymore, so I sold that. But this is, yeah, basically to replace that. It's Charles Bronson in Mr. Majestic. Great film. Directed by Richard Fleischer. Al Lettieri, Linda Crystal, Lee Purcell, written by Elmore Leonard, music by Charles Bernstein, produced by Walter Murch. This is the one where he plays a watermelon farmer. Yeah, so in this he plays a watermelon farmer, and he's an ex-con Vietnam vet whose efforts to lead a normal life as a farmer are thwarted by narrow-minded locals and corrupt cops, which they always were in the 1970s. When a mafia hitman destroys his crop, he takes his rifle in hand and goes after the syndicate assassin, refusing to stop until his work is done. Written by Elmore Leonard and directed by Richard Fleischer, Mr. Majestic is a gritty action film full of car chases, shootouts, and bare-knuckle brawls. It's Bronson. Anything with Charles Bronson is always going to be worth watching. Anything. So yeah, there's another one added to the collection, an update, one upgrade or replacement. This is the special edition. £5. And finally, from the Signal 1 sale is a one a lot of people recommended or mentioned in the comments for A Brief History of Post-Apocalypse Part 2, the 1970s, is Gas. Again, I think this is a Roger Corman film. It is produced and directed by Roger Corman. The reason I left this off is because I hadn't seen it. I had never seen it, but now I have it, so I can watch it. From 1970, 78 minutes. This has a high definition transfer. When the US military accidentally release a noxious substance that causes death from instant old age, everyone over 25 dies, and the youth of America are left to their own devices to invent a new world order, fresh from bringing the late 60s countercultural explosion to the screen in The Trip. Roger Corman delivers his most ambitious and anarchic take on the Love Generation, a freewheeling blend of acid rock, far-out humour, and psychedelic excess that faithfully captures the revolutionary spirit of its time. So yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to checking gas out, because like I said, it's one I haven't seen. I ended up leaving it off the 70s video because it was just one I'd never seen. It's called Gas, or It Became Necessary to Destroy the World in Order to Save It, and this is an 18 certificate. Again, a £5, so added that to the collection, which is great. So yeah, so it was 20 quid for the 5 movies from Signal 1. Have a look at their sale, because their sale's pretty good. There's a lot of great westerns on there, and a lot of decent stuff worth picking up. So then I went to HMV, and I spent a little bit more money, and I picked up 4 of the premium collection, because they're still on the 215. These are just a few that I've had on my list to pick up for a while, and yeah, they were in stock finally. There's a couple more that I really want, but that are out of print. Like Von Ryan's Express is now out of print. I ended up having to get a different release of Little Shop of Horrors, because I wanted that because it had the original poster art on it. The new release doesn't. But the first one is a classic, and it's Airplane from Zucker. It's from Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and Jerry Zucker, or Zaz, because they released a box set called Zaz the Collection or something. Funny as fuck, this film. This is hilarious. Leslie Nielsen, who else is it? Leslie Nielsen, Robert Hayes, Julie Haggerty. Just one-liner after one-liner after one-liner. Great spoof movie. The disco scene at the beginning with Robert Hayes doing the Saturday Night Fever thing and then having the fight with the girl guides is genius. It's just such a funny fucking film. So yeah, Airplane is now part of my premium collection, which almost spans an entire shelf, which is really, really good. So there's a few more that I after this lot that I think I might pick up if they stay on the 215, because there's a few that weren't actually on the 215 that I wanted. So yeah, Airplane. Next up we have Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. This is a film directed by Tony Scott, which has Tony Scott's amazing visual eye for action. Produced by Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer. If I remember rightly, this film, during the making of this film, Don Simpson was basically coked up to the eyeballs for the entirety of the show. But this is about a NASCAR racer played by Tom Cruise, and it's a good movie. Yeah, fun. 2 for 15. So yeah, that's why I added that one to it. What more can I say about Days of Thunder apart from it's a good Tom Cruise action drama with cars in it, directed by Tony Scott? Then we have a film that I've never seen before. In fact, the next 2 films I haven't seen before, and these were just essentially blind buys. The first one is the film Target with Gene Hackman and Matt Dillon. Never seen it. It's directed by Arthur Penn, and it's about a son and father who get embroiled in a kidnapping plot where their mother has been kidnapped, and like Hackman's character plays his father, and he's like a really sort of unassuming, unremarkable, boring person, but he finds out, I'm guessing he finds out, like I said, I haven't watched it yet, I'm guessing he finds out that his dad is like former CIA or something. So yeah, looking forward to checking this one out, because like I said, it's a film I've not seen before. So Target, yeah. Who else is in this? Matt Dillon, Gail Honeycutt, Joseph Summer. Directed by Arthur Penn. Screenplay by Howard Burke and Don Peterson. Story by Leonard Stern. Original score by Michael Small. So we'll give that a check. Might be good. Has anyone seen Target? If you've seen Target, let me know if it's any good, because it's a film I've never seen and it's one that I'm intrigued by. Then we have the last of the 2 for 15, and this is a film directed by, I want to say Sidney Lumet. Is it Sidney Lumet? Yes, Sidney Lumet. And again, this is a film I've never seen, and it stars people that I really like. So it's got Michael Caine in it, and it's got Christopher Reeve in it, and it is Death Trap, which is a sort of comedy, whodunit, thriller, black comedy, Michael Caine movie, based on a play, I believe. Yes, it's based on a play by Ira Levin. This is a fiendishly funny film version of Ira Levin's Broadway hit, starring Michael Caine as a blocked writer, Diane Cannon as his loving, naive wife, and Christopher Reeve as a former student who's written a play so flawless, even a gifted director couldn't ruin it. Gifted director Sidney Lumet and screenwriter J. Preston Allen packed this movie's insidious hairpin twists with such deep, drop-dead wit and delightful dread they all stopped laughing. Apparently, from what I've read about this is sort of a film where people discovered that Christopher Reeve was more than just Superman, and he was actually a very, very deep and very good actor. So yeah, like I said, this was a blind buy because it's one I've never seen. I have researched it, I've watched trailers. Same with Target, I've watched the trailers for them just to get a feel as to what the film is. And if it's anything like Sleuth, then I'll probably enjoy it. And if it's anything like, maybe not as slapstick as Clue, but I'd probably enjoy something like that. I really like the mystery, sort of twisty-turny, cat and mouse type of game. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this one, and I think I'll probably watch this very soon, actually. So yeah, Death Trap, Sidney Lumet, Michael Caine, Christopher Reeve, and Diane Cannon. So that's my premium collection add-ons. Now we get to the 4Ks. There are a couple of 4Ks. The first one is a film that I haven't seen. Again, this is a new film. This is one of the films I really wanted to see this year, but it's a film that I never got around to watching. But when I was in HMV, they had 3 for 40 quid, and I decided, you know what, it's in the offer. I don't tend to buy newer films, but it's a film I was desperately looking forward to seeing, and it is Monkey Man, written and directed by Dev Patel and produced by Jordan Peele, starring Dev Patel as a sort of Indian John Wick, I guess. And this is Dev Patel's directorial debut, and apparently it's incredibly violent. I mean, it's strong blood. It's an 18 certificate, which is very rare to find these days in a sort of Hollywood film, because this is released by Universal as well. But this is the 4K, and it's like I said, it was in the 2 for 40. It does only come with the 4K disc. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. Because like I said, it was one that I really wanted to watch when it was released, but I never got around to it. And I know it's on Amazon Prime, but I want to watch it in really, really good, awesome quality. So Monkey Man is the first 4K of the pile. Then we have, I already have this on Blu-ray. But I fucking love this movie, and I want to see it the best possible way. It's Unforgiven, with Clint Eastwood, directed by Clint Eastwood, written by David Webb Peoples, who also wrote the original Blade Runner, I think he wrote Blade Runner, but the cast in it, holy shit, no wonder this won like 4 Oscars. Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and Richard Harris. Also, you got Francis Fisher in there as well, and Saul Rubinek's in it. Just a great Western. I say just a great Western. It's not just a great Western. For me, it's the greatest Western ever made. There are so many subtle things that you miss the first time watching it, and then you catch on repeat viewings, like how he doesn't drink anymore, but you can see his character going back into his old ways throughout the movie every time he takes like a sip of alcohol. And then yeah, it's such a well written, well directed, beautifully acted film, and I just had to upgrade it to 4K. This actually does come with the regular Blu-ray, so you get the 4K and the regular Blu. I haven't actually checked out what this looks like yet in 4K, so I'm probably going to do that tonight. But I absolutely adore this film. It is my favourite Western. Then, again, this is an upgrade from a regular Blu-ray and a box set, DVD box set. It's The Exorcist. This is the Ultra 4K HD UHD 100 years celebrating every story from Warner Brothers. This is the collector's edition, which has the extended cut and the original theatrical cut. This is a 4-disc set, and this was in the 3 for $40. So you get The Exorcist on 4K, and you also get The Exorcist on Blu-ray. But then the other disc is the original theatrical. So the first disc is the director's cut, the extended director's cut, and then the third disc is the theatrical cut on 4K, and the fourth disc is the theatrical cut on Blu-ray. So it's for like what amounts to about, what is it, 15, 12, 24, well, about 14 quid a pop, or 13 quid each. You get this. It's insane. I love The Exorcist. I remember watching it for the first time when it was released unbanned, after being banned since like 1974. I remember all the people when that came out as well. 2000, was it 99, 2000? It came out around the same time. It was the same time as Clockwork Orange got released, because it was not supposed to get released until Kubrick's death. So I think when he died, obviously Clockwork Orange then got released, but I think this got released in 1999 for the first time since 1974. And at the start, at the beginning, when I first saw it, I was just, I don't get the hype. Like, I don't get it. But then I was young and I was naive. I didn't really understand what The Exorcist was. And then the more I've watched it over the years, the more I've fallen in love with it, and the more I think it's one of the greatest horror films of all time. And yeah, it's an incredible movie, and it's been parodied so many times as well. Brilliantly in Scary Movie 2 at the start, but beautifully parodied by French and Saunders in French and Saunders Go to the Movies. So yeah, 4K. So that was the 3 for $40 of the 4Ks. There are 2 left. The original one I went in for, I didn't pick up because they didn't have it. Luckily, I did manage to get it, but I managed to get it today. So the first one, this was a replacement for what I wanted to originally get, and I had cash for Christmas off my sister, so I was like, I'm going to spend the money on that. It's the Mexico Trilogy. 3 films by Robert Rodriguez, starting with El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. This comes in 3 Amore cases, starting with El Mariachi on a regular Blu-ray with a high-definition presentation, following up with Desperado on 4K and Blu-ray? Yeah, 4K and regular Blu-ray. With great cover art there. And then we end it with Once Upon a Time in Mexico on regular Blu-ray. I don't know why they didn't 4K Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That's a bit weird. Maybe they couldn't get the... Yeah, I don't understand that. That's a bit of an odd one. But yeah, so this was $49.99. This wasn't in a sale or anything. I just wanted it. I was like, I've got the money there. I can splurge. I can treat myself. So I decided to get the Mexico Trilogy, Arrow's release of this, and I am happy with the purchase. So I'm interested to see El Mariachi in a high definition format, because that film was shot in 16mm on 16mm film, so it still has that really low budget grainy look. So I mean, sometimes 16mm can look fantastic when it's been transferred to a higher resolution. Like Dog Soldiers, the second sight Blu-ray of Dog Soldiers looks stunning, and that film was shot on 16mm. So I'm intrigued to see what that looks like. Desperado is fucking fantastic anyway. It's one of the best 90s action movies that kind of slips under the radar because I think people kind of talk about it more in the same vein as something like From Dusk Till Dawn and like Tarantino's early stuff, but it's not. It's an action movie like with shootouts galore. It's like if John Woo went to Mexico and made a version of like Hard Boiled or something in Mexico, then this is what you would have. Which, yeah, so really glad I picked this up. I really like these hard boxes, although I don't think I like Arrow using these slip cases, because I don't know, there's something I quite like just the regular hard box. I mean, there's one. The next one I'll show you would really kind of annoyed me because I hadn't seen what the box had looked like, but this one's not too bad. I like the packaging for this. And yeah, so just glad I've got this in the collection now, because I've got all three on DVD. Haven't got a single one of them on Blu-ray. Now I do, and I'm very pleased with that. But yeah, $49.99. I was just like, I've got to do it. But glad that Desperado is in 4K, because that's going to look amazing. And finally, this is the one that I originally went to buy instead of buying the Mexico Trilogy, and I picked it up today, and it is Demolition Man. This is Arrow's recent release of Demolition Man, which is one of my favourite 90s action movies. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's like these slipcases. I don't like these. Like, I would rather... Like, I'm surprised that Arrow haven't written Demolition Man, or haven't put Demolition Man down the spine. But this is the hard box. And you get the 4K... I haven't actually looked inside this. You get the 4K release and a load of art cards, and there's a poster and a book. I'm quite surprised that for the price of 30 quid that there isn't a Blu-ray in here, considering that, like, 30 quid for a single release Blu-ray. I know it's in a special fancy box and everything, but 30 quid for a special release, well, for a single Blu-ray, or for a single 4K, I think is quite high. But there are a shit ton of special features on there. And I was watching Last Movie Standing, and he was talking about how it's essentially basically the definitive version of Demolition Man, and you wouldn't need to upgrade after this, because this is it. So yeah, so really glad that I've got that now. There you go. I got it on the spine. Picked it up today. I do have one more film on the way. I picked it up from 88 Films sale, so that'll be here soon, and I'll quickly show you that in a different video. But yeah, so that's my pickups. That's what the fuck did I buy, and really looking forward to checking all these bad boys out, because I've seen some of these I've never seen. Some of them I've seen multiple times and I love. But yeah, as usual, thanks for watching. The second part of the 80s post-apocalypse video is currently being worked on. I did say I had a what the fuck did I buy on the way, and this is that video. But stay tuned, because there will be a second part. I'm trying to get through it as quick as I can. I'm about 10 minutes into the edit of it so far. The voiceovers are coming along. What I'm doing is I'm recording the voiceover in one long take. I say one long take, it's not one long take, it's one long audio file. And I'm going to edit that at the end so it all sounds exactly the same. Because that was one of the issues with the last video, is that the audio kind of was a little bit quieter in one section than the other section, or felt a little bit distant. But so yeah, thanks to everyone who's watched those videos, because they have done amazingly well. The 80s part 1 is on just over 2k, I think, views. The 70s is on like 3, no, the first part is on like 3,000 views, 3k views. The second part hasn't hit 2k views yet, but I'm not really that bothered by that. but the 80s one has hit just over 2k views, and I'm really appreciative of that. So thanks everyone. So this is me, this is Pedro. This was What the Fuck Did I Buy? This is me giving you a salute, throwing up the peace sign, and telling you that I, Monsieur Le Pedro, am out. Cheers everyone, have a good one.